55 days after being on the run, Sheikh Shah Jahan, Sandeshkhali's most wanted criminal, has been arrested. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. Mamata Banerjee's big move, although it's of course being called the West Bengal police's intervention, comes just days before the Prime Minister is scheduled to visit West Bengal and meet with victims and survivors of Sandeshkhali. Sandeshkhali is an area in West Bengal that has become a political battlefield where women have alleged sexual violence and other villagers have alleged land grab. Sheikh Shahjahan, a TMC strongman of the area, has also been accused of assaulting enforcement directorate officials when they came to question him and his aides. In fact, that's the case in which he has been arrested. The BJP isn't letting go. The BJP says this is not an arrest, it's an adjustment of a man who is close to the Trinamool Congress's top leadership and who they will allege is being given VIP treatment. The Trinamool Congress says we walk the talk, and we walk the talk more than the BJP has done. The politics continues unabated, even with Shah Jahan now in police custody. As we look at the political ramifications, and remember, Bengal is going to be a major battleground for 2024. The BJP is snapping at the heels of the Trinamool Congress. Let's introduce our guest on the program today as we look at the political ramifications of the big arrest of Sheikh Shah Jahan. Joining us now is Gargi Roy. Gargi Roy, of course, is a political analyst, Gargi Nandi Roy, and we'll see how she reacts to what is unfolded in Bengal. Also joining us is Zakia Soman, a well-known women's rights activist. Welcome to the program, Zakia. From the Trinamool Congress, we're joined by Tausifur Rahman. Welcome back to the program, Tausif. And from the BJP, it's good to have back with us Kia Ghosh. Ms. Ghosh, welcome back to the program. A pleasure to see you. Let's get the ball rolling with Derek O'Brien of the Trinamool Congress making the announcement that Sheikh Shah Jahan would also be suspended from the party for the next 6 years. Listen in.
The All India Trinamool Congress have decided to suspend Sheikh Shah Jahan from the party for 6 years. Read my lips. Suspend him for 6 years. Why? Because there are two types of parties. One type of political party does talk, talk, talk. But the Trinamool Congress does walk the talk. This is not the first time we're doing it. We've done it in the past. Mr. Narendra Modi, if you are watching this press conference, if you are not watching, one of your minions will be watching. We dare you tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Mr. Modi, we dare you to suspend Narayan Rane. We dare you to suspend Himanta Biswa Sharma.
Okay, the Trinamool Congress there daring the BJP and the Prime Minister, the BJP in Bengal responding saying this is all a sham. Shah Jahan has been with the Trinamool Congress and has been rolled out, well-timed, to prevent the issue from being a live issue when the Prime Minister comes to Bengal. Take a look.
अरे बार-बार भाई बोल रहा हूँ अरेस्ट नहीं है, ये म्यूचुअल एडजस्टमेंट है। उसको 5 स्टार फैसिलिटी जेल में मिलेगा, मोबाइल फोन यूज करेगा, जेल के अंदर से एरिया कंट्रोल करेगा और धांधली गुंडागर्दी सब चलते रहेगा।
Let's get started with our conversation today. Tausifur Rahman, 55 days later, could this not have been done before?
I mean, you see, Barkhaji, I've been telling you since day one that a lot of things happened over there, a lot of things was created, a lot of things was manipulated. But what ends well, it's what we are seeing that Sheikh Shah Jahan has been arrested. And I can understand hearing Suvendu ji's statement that he looks frustrated because what all he wanted from Sandeshkhali is to cash his image and get mileage from there. He was not bothered that whether it was a land grabbing accusation, whether the women were having some trouble, he was not bothered about anything. The frustration is coming because when Narendra Modi ji is going to come West Bengal and Sheikh Shahjahan has been arrested, Now the whole thing has become honky dory. उनके पास बोलने के लिए कुछ रहा नहीं. They're very upset. I mean, few of them, I mean, they will just do suicide also because when they came to know the West Bengal police have arrested Sheikh Shah Jahan. So it has become a very funny moment for Bhajpa, but it's a good moment for Trinamool Congress, and I give full credit to West Bengal police that within 48 hours after the court intervened, that yes, you need to take action. Sheikh Shah Jahan has been arrested. But when you talk about 55 days, Barkaji, it's a very serious debate, especially when you are anchoring the show and we have such great panelists, where it becomes a serious debate. Even Kia ji is there, Zakia ji, and so many people. I mean, if you see during an ED arrest, ED officials were hurt in an attack. I mean, it's all started from that time. Now, the deputy director filed a complaint in Nazar police station on the matter of investigation. Everyone knows that. Now, later they requested. The request came from ED that the court should put a stay on the investigation, and it was granted. I mean, this is the reason we were having legal obstruction to take action in this case. But from that day, from 7th Feb till 29th Feb, everything was becoming like a movie. And I want to repeat myself, it was looking like a Karan Johar or Big Boss show. When the court intervened, when the court did 144 and the West Bengal police couldn't work, every day some of the heroes from BJP, they wanted to act like a hero, wearing mala, they want to drink some Ruafza Sharbat over there. I've seen all that happening things. They were not sad.
Okay.
But the thing is that they wanted to communalize, they wanted to politicize, and they failed, Barkajit, in front of your eyes.
Let me get Kia Ghosh. The one thing the Trinamool Congress and the BJP might agree on, you're both accusing the other of doing drama, of stage managing, of orchestrating. Tausif says it's a Karan Johar movie. I'm not sure which movie's name Kia Ghosh would take, but we should remember there are very serious allegations at the heart of this that go beyond party politics. Women alleging sexual violence, poor villagers alleging land grabs, leave aside the enforcement directorate officials alleging assault. Ms. Ghosh, now that Shah Jahan is under arrest, will the BJP step back from its criticism and let the law now take its own course? Ms. Ghosh.
Firstly, my pranam to the women of Sandeshkhali who had finally gathered the courage to protest, who had finally come out after almost a decade of this torture, this nightly making pite, the rice breads. They were called on the behest of making pite in the party offices. Finally, they spoke up. But this arrest is nothing but an eyewash. Now, obviously you would ask me, why am I saying this? I am saying this with conviction. This is an eyewash because you see the chronology of events. Some Trinamool spokesperson who is not even a part of the government, he said that Shah Jahan would be arrested within the next 7 days. I don't know from where he got this information or what astrologer he visits to, but he got this information. Secondly, Tausifur, I believe he is a learned person, but I don't know whether he has the full information or not. The Honorable High Court made it clear day before yesterday that there was no such stay put on Sheikh Shah Jahan's arrest. So the state government or the state police and administration, they wanted to delay this process because this Shah Jahan role model, it suits Trinamool. This Shah Jahan model fetch them for panchayat votes one-sided panchayat votes. Let me finish, Barkha. One more thing, Barkha.
Okay.
Derek O'Brien, well, he said that they had done such thing of suspension in past. He's partially right. But what he cleverly forgot to mention is that the suspension was revoked within 16 months. I'm talking about Arabul Islam. Arabul was earlier, he was suspended from the party for 6 years, quote unquote, like Sheikh Shahjahan. And the suspension was revoked only after a mere 16 months. And Sheikh Shah Jahan, to be very honest, earlier Trinamool, they used to ask, where's the proof? Now you see so many women, they have lodged the complaint. And not to forget, Barkha, you're an excellent journalist. I'm sure you must have done your homework very well. You must have remembered that in 2019, Sheikh Shah Jahan, his name was there, put up for the murder of BJP Karyakarta Pradeep Mandal, his brother Devdas, whose body was not even found. So this is the person, Sheikh Shah Jahan, and he was roaming scot-free. And now Trinamool wants to take the advantage, or they are, beating their chest that yes, finally the West Bengal government did it. What a shame.
Before I go to Zakia and our other guest to Gargi, let me just bring in Tausif to respond to Kia's point briefly. I think the point is worth underlining, Tausif, for that the arrest right now is not in the case of sexual violence, sexual abuse, what the women are alleging. This is for assault on the ED officials, right? This is that case. What happens to all of those other cases? And as Kia Ghosh said earlier, your party was not willing to accept those allegations. You said, where is the FIR? Then multiple cases came forth, one including a section that relates to gang rape. So, when you say Karan
Correct.
Johar, aren't you trivializing the seriousness of these allegations?
Barkha, we are very much serious from day one, you know. And when Kiaji was talking about the court obstructions or whatsoever, this obstruction and this whole thing was asked by the ED. The ED went there, the ED wanted to investigate, and they asked the court that we wanted some kind of obstruction, that no one should interfere with Sheikh Shah Jahan's case. So this is very clear, Kiaji. I mean, you can't deny that. I'm not saying the court went and said कि आप लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते. It was the ED who demanded we don't want any kind of intervention. Kiaji. Wait, I'll again listen to you. It's a very good debate what's happening, and I understand what you want to say. But again, following the Sandeshkhali saw some untoward incidents, Shah Jahan was the main accused in the attacks on ED officials, right? Cases were registered in the other issues in Sandeshkhali after Feb 8th against Sheikh Shahjahan. Other people were also named as the accused in these cases. But all these cases was back in 2 3 years. When you talk about a gimmick, when you talk about an eyewash, Kiaji, I want to request that I want this same eyewash, I want this same facade gimmick or massacre, whatever you want to name, with Bhrit Bhushan ji as well, with Nirav Modi as well, with Mehul Choksi as well, with Pushpesh Bhat as well. We
But
want
you
to
also,
have this
you,
eyewash.
al- but you also took your time
हमें
to
भी
add.
चाहिए ना.
So
But आपने
do I get to
हमें भी
respond to
चाहिए.
this? Do I
आपने
get to
Please bring
respond to
arrest
आइए.
this
and show this
Okay,
to this
eyewash.
okay, okay.
to this
Tausif,
humane
Tausif,
response of Tausifur?
one at a time. Only request is Kia, if you can make your interjection brief because Zakia and Gargi are waiting. So please go ahead.
Sure. I understand. There are two esteemed panelists as well who are waiting. I just wanted to remind very, very politely to my brother Tausifur that Brijbhushan Saran's this case, it is under the Supreme Court. It's a sub judice matter. So Supreme Court, if the Honorable Court finds him guilty, we won't shield him. Whereas Mamata Banerjee on the floor of legislature, let me finish. I can understand your frustration, Tausifur. I can very well understand your frustration. Mamata Banerjee on the floor of Vidhan Sabha, she said, Sheikh Shah Jahan is being targeted. So she plainly stood beside someone who had been earlier framed of gang rapes and murders, and he acted as a sexual predator for more than a decade.
Okay, let's
Did
open this
you
up.
suspend
Acha,
us?
guys, a
Anyway,
request. Hang on. Now the politicians must let the non-politicians speak. Gargi, go ahead.
For
Can we unmute?
inviting. Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Barkha, for inviting. And I think Tausifur has a very tough job today to defend the indefensible. Anyway, Barkha, see, Sheikh Shahjahan is not a single case. There are numerous Sandeshkhali like places in Bengal where land grabs have been happening and where this kind of torture on women have been happening. And the greatest quality of Didi or Pishi, she protects her goons till the last moment. So they tried their best. Now they had no other way. He was being under protection. So now they have done this drama. Have you seen Sheikh Shahjahan's body language today? Is it the body language of a criminal? It seems that the policemen are not policemen. They are his bodyguards. Just see his body language, Barkha. You're showing the visual and people will understand because the police were saluting him till these days. When the women went to the police station, they were asked to go and complain to Sheikh Shahjahan and his brother Siraj. So that was the situation. And why are these people protected? You have to understand the politics of Bengal because these are the monsters. Not only one Sandeshkhali, go beyond Medinipur. There are a lot of land grabs. These are the people who ensure electoral victory for Didi. These are the people who collect money and the money goes up. Sheikh Shahjahan has grabbed lands. What about the 35 properties belonging to the Banerjee family?
But what do you make? What do you make of the arrest? What do you make of the arrest?
So they were forced. He will get 5-star treatment, Barkha. He will remotely control his place. He has to be handed over to the ED. Otherwise, nothing will happen. You can understand from his body language. See, I will tell you, Barkha, because I know it very well. When the violence happened after the post poll in 2021, I made a video on a girl. She had to flee her village. Similar things happened in her village in Pandobeshwar area. They could not complain in the police station. Like here, Sandeshkhali Thana, Nazad police station, they never took the complaint from the women. They said, go to Sheikh Shahjahan. So those policemen, are they not criminal also? Shouldn't they be also charged?
Okay. You've raised
So this
important
is
questions. Let me get Zakia.
a drama. Absolutely. And you imagine Abhishek Banerjee said, ki koreche Shahjahan. So now they were saying, ki koreche. What has he done? Didi said he's being targeted, and now they are just pushed to the wall. So they are just reacting.
Okay, they have left with no option but to react is your central argument.
Yes.
Zakia Soman, women's rights are politicized, trivialized, become a battlefield for electoral politics. I'm not, there's a cynicism I feel as a feminist because really the story here too is politics. I want it to be about the women, but the politics will overtake what's happened to the women. Your thoughts, Zakia?
Absolutely, Barkha. It is with a lot of sadness and even frustration that, I'm undergoing a sense of deja vu. And I'm sure you are also undergoing a sense of deja vu. Not so long ago, where we were discussing Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, we were discussing remission to rapists. Before that, we were discussing Kuldeep Sengar and people like that. So what I want to say is our political class as a whole, perhaps, today, seem to think that crimes against women are okay. Although here in Sandeshkhali, it is much more than that. It's about corruption. It's about misgovernance. It's about failure of law and order. It's about politics. But at the heart of it, somewhere, it is also persistent sexual harassment of women, which nobody feels is important to attend to. And time and again, we are seeing this, molesters, sexual harassers, rapists, getting away because of their political party affiliations. And this doesn't apply to a political party A or B or C. I'm sorry to say that all our political parties across the board in India are guilty, because this has happened in BJP ruled states, it has happened in Congress ruled states, it's now happening in TMC ruled states. So it is like half the population of India, that is the women of India. On the one hand, every political party is so eager to explore the women vote, so-called. But on the other hand, violence against women and crimes against women are not important political agenda.
I think you're right. I think there is a deep politicization, not in the way that the personal is the political, but reduced to electoral politics. And the fact is, 2 months before the elections, that's also inevitable. But I hear you, and I hear that across parties, we have seen criminals harbored in politics, we have seen molesters harbored in politics, we have seen rape convicts being given, actually premature release from jail. And in Bengal, Tausifur Rahman, we have seen the only woman chief minister of India initially defend this man, says the BJP. What made you change your mind, Tausifur Rahman?
But see, earlier the whole accusation of Sheikh Shahjahan was into land grabbing, that he's taking all kind of land and he's capturing land. So this was the case, and this is the reason why Mamata Banerjee from the floor, she said that things to get clarified, things to ki koreche Shahjahan. I mean, yes, the actual word was this. I'm not denying that. Even the National General Secretary said ki koreche Shahjahan. So when it's about land grabbing and when it's about accusation, actually, what Kiya Ghosh said, that even Brij Bhushan cases there in Supreme Court. But Barkha, out of this sight, out of the line, what I'm saying, I totally agree with all these panelists. You also women and you are women. I mean, you cannot negotiate the dignity of a woman. Whether he's a MP, MLA, or what kind of leader, whether he belongs from Congress,
Why did
BJP,
Ms.
TMC.
Banerjee respond the way she did?
Whatsoever.
May I ask you, why did Ms. Banerjee respond the way she did initially?
Barkha, see, it was a very initial thing, and still until now, I mean, if you see about the evidence, if you talk about the proof and being guilty, that Sheikh Shahjahan has been found guilty, I mean, till date or till now, even that time, I mean, you have to be, everything was very skeptical. and still it is very skeptical. But
I mean, he was
yes,
named. He was
I
named
I
in a
will.
murder. He was named in a murder FIR well before this controversy. He was named in a
So
murder
Barkha,
FIR in 2019, accused of killing BJP workers Sukanta Mondal and Pradeep Mondal in June 2019. So these are not recent allegations.
absolutely, Barkha. No one is denying that all the accusation, all those things were there. And now, what BJP wanted and what India wanted from Trinamool Congress and from the West Bengal police is to arrest Sheikh Shah Jahan. So now Sheikh Shah Jahan has been unarrested, and all those FIRs and charge sheets should be there. I mean, the law will take its own course. Now, who's stopping them? Even the ED can come and take and pick up Sheikh Shahjahan out now, whether it's CBI, CID, or whatsoever. Now Sheikh Shahjahan has been arrested. You don't have to see whether which police is saluting him or the body language of Sheikh Shah. That doesn't matter. I mean, the High Court or the Supreme Court will not see his body language. The High
Okay,
Court and the Supreme Court will only see one thing: evidence, evidence, and evidence. If
fair
he
enough.
is guilty, and one more thing, Barkha. TMC has suspended Sheikh Shahjahan. It's as we have nothing to do with him right now. At this moment, talking on Mojo with Barkha Dutt and an elite panelist, we have nothing to do with Sheikh Shahjahan. He has been suspended. But at the same time, again in today, Kanpur, two minor girls have been raped. Today's date. In today, I'm talking about today. And the parents are saying it's been a gang rape. I want to know the situation as well. What's happening in Kanpur? Will Kia Ghosh or the NCW or Suvendu Adhikari and Sukanta Majumdar will visit Kanpur?
Okay,
Will ask for justice?
let,
No,
let
nothing
me
will happen in UK.
let me then raise this question, Gargi. Give me a second to Kia Ghosh. Kia Ghosh, the suggestion is we have suspended him. You wanted him jailed. He's arrested. Is it that your party wanted to drag this on to the 6th of March when the Prime Minister was in Bengal, and it doesn't suit you politically right now that he's under arrest?
Three things. Let me put the details straight. I think Tosifur, as he must have missed. I don't want to say he has been underlying the facts, but I want to make things straight. Firstly, Bharatiya Janata Party, as a woman and as a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, we have always said that Sheikh Shah Jahan and all the people who have tormented these women of Sandeshkhali should be arrested. Why after 50 days? Could you please answer,
But
Possible? Why
now that
after
he's
50 days?
arrested, why are you
No, no,
still
no. Yes, yeah.
cynical? Why are you still cynical now that he's
I'm
been
coming to
arrested?
it. I'm coming to it, Barka. You will understand why am I spinning this question. Why after 50 days he needed to be suspended? Why not on the very first day when Sheikh Shah Jahan's goons attacked ED? Could you imagine the Najat police station? They on suo moto they lodged a FIR against ED themselves who were attacked. This is the kind of law and order prevailing in Bengal. The second point, I really appreciate Osifur's respect towards women. But as only woman chief minister, Mamata Banerjee, you must be remembering, Barkha, what a comment she made after the Harshkhali rape and murder and the killing of the girl. She said, was this girl pregnant? Was she involved in a love affair? She must have been under influence of alcohol. This is the kind of respect a lady chief minister gives to a dead minor who had been raped by a Trinamool panchayat member. And well, when the Tausifur mentioned Kanpur, definitely all the rapists, and I repeat, as a woman, no rapist should be spared. Coming to which, yesterday I visited a place called Jagaddal Vidhan Sabha, a place called Shankarpur, where a minor, deaf and mute minor, she was being repeatedly raped by the mama of a panchayat sadasya. Okay, and this girl, I went to the village, I spoke to the lady, the grandmother myself, and they were in a state of shock. They said, we tried to protest, we went to the police, nobody would take our complaint as we are poor, and
Okay,
the predator,
but
he's a very
the,
powerful person.
the
So this
truth,
is the kind of situation
the truth
happening in
is,
Bengal, Barka.
the truth is that there is a woman in India raped every 22 minutes. So there are horror stories from every state. But I think that you've raised some questions about why we should not expect better from one of the most prominent female leaders of Bengal, and I think that's a fair question. And I'm going to, before I come to Gargi and Zakia, allow Tausif a very brief response to that question. Tausif.
Barkha, I won't take much time. I mean, whenever when it's about prominent face, when it's about women's face, only female chief minister, and they have some dialogue with three lines, three sentences that Shajuno Ghatna, Mamata Banerjee bollo eta Shajuno Ghatna. These are all fake things. Whether she's pregnant, whether she was in love or not. So if you see the 498A case, why it got changed. Now the 498 is not same what it used to be earlier. The 498A case got changed because there were a lot of illegal things happening and the lot of families from the girls' side was taking advantage. I mean, you have to agree this, Barkha. They were taking advantage. So this is the reason. Being a chief minister, you have to see both sides. I mean, what is wrong if a girl got raped? It is a brutal punishment. You cannot save that person from anyhow,
Okay.
whether it's chief
Okay.
minister or whatsoever. And
Okay. Okay.
Barkha, wait, it's very serious. I mean, when it's about rape, and when PRG and Bharatiya Janata Dal Party wants to do something, why don't they hire a lawyer from their side and drag that panchayat MLA, MP, or bloody whatsoever, take them to the court? Why you have to politicize these things? If are you so sure that he's belong from TMC, whether he belongs from Congress or BJP
Okay.
whatsoever, drag him to the court.
Okay. Okay.
If you want to give him shelter, or what, if you want to help them, if you want to socialize things, if you want to become a social welfare, drag them to the court.
Okay. Okay. Let's for a moment acknowledge that we are in a time where 6 weeks later there will be elections. Let's also look at what these numbers tell us about why there is such a ferocious fight in Bengal. If you look at projections from the latest sea voter surveys, they are projecting that TMC does have a fight on its hand. It's still in the lead, but the BJP is snapping, and we'll have those numbers for you in a moment. The BJP is snapping at the heels of the Trinamool Congress. Gargi, those are the numbers. We are looking at the India Today Sea Voter Mood of the Nation survey that actually projects, the seats that you see on your screen. My question to you is this what's driving the ferocity of this battle?
Electoral politics is something which compels Mamata Banerjee and her party. I don't know BJP whether it is politicizing on rape or torture on women. I don't think anybody should politicize crime against women. I don't think BJP is doing. BJP today is representing the voice of the people in Bengal who are up in arms against Mamata Banerjee's government. And now why Mamata Banerjee protects the goons, as I told you, Barkha, because if you know in Panchayat election, so after 70,000 seats, 67,000 went to TMC. How in Sandeshkhali, all the women were saying they never voted in past 13 years. They used to go to the booth, ink marks were put on their fingers and they were sent back. So here is a strong political reason why these monsters have been patronized by the state machinery. They were given a free run, and not only one Shah Jahan, I'm reiterating. And imagine they call him Bagh, the tiger of, you call a criminal a bag, a tiger, you are glorifying a criminal. Everywhere these kind of monsters exist in Bengal who like this, they don't let elections happen. So TMC wins, and also they are great in fund collection, the money goes. These are the reasons. Mamata Banerjee, they say, Didi, amra dekhe nebo, Didi. And they call them, and Didi is like very happy, okay, as long as I'm winning. So now she's reacting because she has no other way. But Sheikh Shahjahan has to be handed over to the ED. And coming to Mamata Banerjee's feeling for women, Kea quoted Hashkali. Do you remember Park Street when Mamata Banerjee called a rape, he concocted story, Kakuli Ghosh Dosti, maligned
that was too much manipulated, Gargiji. Even the victims who got arrested were arrested twice.
I think Tausifur have some shame. She's dead and gone. Tausifur have some shame, please. Please have some shame. She is dead. She won't come back to defend herself. And you are saying you're still maintaining about the concocted story. Please, this is the real face of Trinamool, Barkha. This is the real face of Trinamool.
Okay, all right. 1 minute. May I request you all to
Tausif, don't interfere because I did not disturb you. I showed the cutscene. Please show the cutscene. Barkha, if you remember, Kakuli Ghosh Dostidar did character assassination and maligned the rape victim. And what happened to Damayanti Sen, the IPS officer who arrested the rape accused? She was summoned by the chief minister. Chief minister was not happy, and then she was transferred. So we have seen, see, rape is a social evil. We know that it may not be prevented, but when it happens, as a chief minister, she must come out and punish the criminals.
So
that she has not done.
Let us acknowledge that across parties, institutional sensitivity to crimes against women is lacking, whether you are female or male. That is the point to acknowledge at this point. Before I give the Trinamool and the BJP last comment, Zakia, I'm sure that's the wider point you want to make at this point. Go ahead, Ms. Soman.
Definitely. See, 75 years after India's independence, if these incidents are taking place, then there is something seriously wrong with our society. There's something seriously wrong with the way politics is done today. Because these, ma'am said that, it's rape is a social evil. It is, but it is always backed by power. It's also an act of the powerful to crush those who don't have power. So let's recognize that. And increasingly, it is becoming that because the rapist, the molester knows that he has political protection. So that is something which needs to change. And this kind of attitude towards women's issues and towards women in society needs to change. I think some kind of a revolution, sexual revolution, a revolution to beat the misogyny and patriarchy in our society is called for. And political parties do not seem to be interested in any kind of movement for women's equality. It is the message that we take from these incidents.
Yes,
unfortunately.
Kia Ghosh, let me ask you that. The allegation being that parties cherry pick, that you will speak about this as you should, with anger, with rage, with anguish, but you will not speak about a Brij Bhushan Saran, a Bilkis Bano in the same way. And the reverse is true, that the Trinamool Congress leadership has been insensitive, whether it's Park Street rape case or whether it is this case. There is a selectiveness in how political parties respond to sexual violence. अपना है तो अपना बंदा है तो उसको defend करो, दूसरे का है तो attack करो. How do you respond to that charge? Last comments from you, and then Tausif can respond in conclusion.
This predator, Sheikh Shah Jahan, he was addressed as Bishishto Bhadralok, which means a very respected gentleman by none other than one of the state minister, Partha Bhowmik. So this is the kind of respect Sheikh Shah Jahan gets. Not only that, Sheikh Shah Jahan and his goons, they have grabbed land, and now what we are seeing is that West Bengal government, with our tax money, they are paying back to the victims, and this has happened earlier also. And having said that, I said Bharatiya Janata Party in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. I'm sure even you are aware that fir teesri baar Modi Sarkar. That's all the reality, but as a woman, as a member of Bharatiya Janata Party, as an opposition, we will continue to talk, continue to protest such incidents of heinous crimes happening within our state, and we will continue to question Mamata Banerjee and her party members.
Okay, Tausifur Rehman, last question for you. The Prime Minister will be in Bengal on the 6th of March. The best I know,
he's coming tomorrow, day after and 6th. First, second, and sixth.
So are we, Kia, let me ask you this. Are we expecting the survivors, the victims of brutality in Sandeshkhali to be meeting with him?
I would be very happy if these victims, they come up and meet Honorable Prime Minister. I think as a member of the party, in our small might, we can make the arrangements so that they get a chance and talk about their trauma, talk about their harassments, which have been happened to them for over a decade.
So let me put this question to Tausifur Rehman. The fact that Sheikh Shah Jahan is arrested on the eve of the Prime Minister's trip to Bengal will seem to some like it was planned timing. That this was planned. That just before the Prime Minister comes, we'll take away an issue from the BJP.
Barkha, I mean, you can charge Trinamool Congress for this, whether it was planned or not, but you cannot charge the Honorable Court, right? And the Honorable Court intervened and gave a strict warning to the West Bengal police.
But the timing just hours before.
This is what I'm saying. So when the court said that you have to arrest them, so within 48 hours, Sheikh Shah Jahan has been arrested and he is behind the bars. That's the good part. But the saddest part, that BJP cannot take any mileage as the big boss is coming tomorrow and he will be coming next week also. But yes, when you ask about whether he will visit Sandeshkhali or not, he will not.
We have
Because he will
Vishishta
not get
Bhadrolok
a
like
good
Parthu
photo
Chatterjee,
session.
Jyotipriya Malik.
He will not
We
get
have
a
a
good
lot of
photo
issues.
session.
Don't
So he
worry.
will not
So
go
with the
there.
corrupt
So
Trinamool
he will
government,
go
we
to the
don't need
places. Yes,
to
I never
play with
interfere.
Mamata
We never
Banerjee
interfere.
like
I
she
never
did
interfere.
with
Okay.
Nandigram and
You,
Shingur. We
I
don't have
understand
to.
Modi ji
We
will
don't
not have
have
a good
to.
photo session.
I
Remember
heard
Tapushi
I
Malik,
totally
Tausifur?
understand.
one at a
I think
time.
you were not there in the politics that
One,
time.
Listen,
Remember
this is what
how
I'm,
she
this is
played?
what I'm telling
Remember
you.
how she played with the
One minute.
emotions of
You can shout,
say
I
Tapushi
understand.
Malik and
I
Singh.
Ms.
understand.
Ghosh,
I'm just
Ms.
gentle reminder
You
to
are
you.
frustrated.
Mr.
I
Tauseef
understand you are angry with me.
I have a question. I have a question. You said the
Yes.
Prime Minister will not visit Sandeshkhali. How do you know?
Because he will not have that for good photo session over there. I understand. Because he will go to the places where he can
But
have a good
Please ask him
women
how
are
many
not
session.
times Mamata
women.
Banerjee visited. Please
He,
ask him
he
how
is
many
not
times
going to
Mamata
go
Banerjee
there.
visited.
He is
She
not
is the
going to
sitting
go
chief
there.
minister. She has time to go to
I
Hathras,
understand.
but she doesn't have time to
Here
go to
you are getting
Sandeshkhali.
angry on me.
Please ask him.
Okay.
Here you are,
Okay.
here
I'm
you are a
going to
sister.
ask
You
him.
can't
Okay,
get angry on me.
Tausif, let me get a question in. And please, 30 seconds, because then I need to close. The Prime Minister comes just hours before the Prime Minister's arrival. The Bengal police does what it could not do for 55 days, right? Does this not look suspicious to the ordinary person in terms of being planned? That's my question. Please respond.
See, there's a good शेर in Urdu that मेरा कातिल ही मेरा मुंसिफ है क्या मेरे हक में फैसला देगा. So जोतो दोष नंदू घोष. So even we were not arresting, we were supposed to get blamed, and now he has been arrested. Now it has become suspicious. You know, Barkha, the main thing is like tomorrow we won't be shocked if Sheikh Shahjahan and Suvendu Adhikari will share the same stage. I won't be shocked. And that time I want to ask Kia Ghosh that what will you do, like Hemanta Biswas and other leaders, when they had done some big crime and they joined Bhajpa. You know,
Okay.
this is the main thing.
I let Kia respond briefly, and then I do have to say thank you. Kia, if you want to respond briefly.
Of course, I have to. Let me remind Tausifur that Himanta Biswa made his point very clear that he has been acquitted by the court. A. B is that no, don't worry. We don't have place for sexual predators like Sheikh Shah Jahan in Bharatiya
Like
Janata
this
Party.
Bhushan as
Get it
well.
straight. Get it straight. You
Like
are
this
most
Bhushan.
welcome to join us.
Yes,
You are a very learned
you
person,
never,
but not Sheikh Shah Jahan.
Okay.
Get it very
Okay.
straight.
Thank you to Tausif and Kia. It's a volatile subject. Thank you to Zakia and Gargi. And may I just say, as a woman, in the end, we wait for the day when women's rights, women's bodies, what happens to them, their violations, crimes against women are a subject that one day perhaps can go beyond party politics. But of course, everything is political. And I'd be very, very curious to see how the Prime Minister frames his speech tomorrow in Bengal, hours before the Prime Minister reaches Bengal. Sheikh Shah Jahan, the most wanted man, facing allegations of land grab and sexual violence, including one FIR for gang rape against him and his aides, is in jail and suspended from the Trinamool Congress for 6 years as Mamata Banerjee fights Prime Minister Modi in a battle royale in just a couple of months from now. Thanking Tausif, Kia, Zakia, and Gargi, and to our audience. See you tomorrow. Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.